everyone. Today is day 15 of the 30-day emergency fund savings challenge. We are literally halfway through. Time has flown so fast. I am so excited. If you're still here with me and we are crushing this goal, then I want to hear from you in the comments below. Are you still pumped up? Are you so excited you are halfway through? And just with the tips you've been given so far, you should be able to save so much money that maybe you're already much closer to hitting your goal. I'm so excited to share the tip with you today because it's a very interesting tip, one that I think people don't adequately consider all the time. So let's jump right in. Hey everyone, this is Lauren Mack with Hacking the Rat Race, and I would love for you to hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss any videos on money, saving, and investing, and especially not any videos of this 30-day emergency fund savings challenge, of which we are halfway through. So excited. So like I said, today is day 15. We are halfway through, and today we are going to be saving $17. That's right, $17 is going to be going into our envelope. Here we go, our emergency fund envelope with the money that we already have for a total of $138. Way to go, that is so awesome. I am so pumped that we are halfway through. So today's tip, and I want you to be open-minded to consider it, because when you find out how much it's actually costing, I think you might be shocked. So today's tip is to either carpool or consider taking public transportation. And here's the reason why. When people oftentimes think of how much it's going to cost to commute, they think of their time, which is super important, and they think of gas. And that's pretty much it. They don't really think of all the other costs that are involved. However, if you look at the amount the IRS is paying in 2020 per mile, it's 57.5 cents. That means for business, for every mile that you drive your car, you could potentially write off 57.5 cents. So the IRS is considering things like gas, oil, car repairs, car payment, insurance, all these different items. They think per mile it is roughly costing you 57.5 cents. However, let's be realistic. If we're not driving for business and we're just driving to and from work in our personal car, well, if you have a car payment, you're already going to have that. Insurance, registration, those things you have no matter what. However, when driving, yes, gas is a factor, but so is oil changes and regular maintenance, as well as just general emergency car repairs that pop up, and tolls. Those are things that if you weren't driving your car, or if you were carpooling, or if you were using public transportation, that it wouldn't cost you. So if you think about this, the IRS is thinking approximately on average it's costing people 57.5 cents. And like I said, if you already own a vehicle, some of these things you're going to have to pay for anyways, like your car payment, insurance, etc. So let's just go with 40 cents. 40 cents a mile, that's for gas, tires, oil, brakes, regular maintenance, tolls, all those things, 40 cents a mile. If your work or office is only 10 miles from your house, 10 miles, which some people might be thinking, wow, that is a ton. And other people are like, I wish it was only 10 miles, especially this day and age when living in urban areas can be super expensive. People move further and further and further out from their jobs. I'm from Austin, and I can tell you that it has gotten so far that people are even in other small cities surrounding Austin and drive into downtown Austin. So 10 miles may be nothing. It could be more like 15 or 20 miles. But let's just go with an average of 10 miles. If it's 40 cents per mile, round trip from work is $8. So every time you drive to work and come home, it's literally costing you $8. And I don't think people always consider that. They just think of, what is the gas prices? Are they up or down? How much is that costing me? But you're actually putting a lot more wear and tear on your car than just gas. Not to mention your time. If you take public transportation and you don't have to drive, you could use this time to unwind, listen to podcasts, listen to YouTube videos on personal finance. Who knows? So again, there is even more than money involved here. And I know for some people using public transportation might be more difficult, especially in the example I said of someone who lives in a small city outside of Austin or maybe outside of Denver who has to commute in every day. For example, in Austin, you only have buses. That can take way longer than just sitting in traffic and then sucking it up and spending that money. Even if you are, say, in Austin or in one of these suburbs and the bus is the only option, I still recommend looking into it. You might be surprised there might be a direct bus from your little community center all the way to downtown, and maybe you only have to catch one other bus or maybe take a scooter or a Grab or something like that. I would definitely look into it. I know whenever I lived in Cedar Park in Austin, there was a commuter train that literally went down to downtown. It was way cheaper than the money that you would spend driving down there. You had your peace of mind, and then a lot of people could just walk from there. So there are options. Please look into them. This could be worth it. Okay, if there are not options, then consider carpooling. Literally, you could be saving $8 per day. Maybe you drive a couple of days a week, maybe someone else drives a couple of days a week, maybe you carpool with 3 people, then you could be saving $16 per week in this example, and this if you only live 10 miles away. If you live 20 miles away, which again isn't a stretch for a lot of people around the country, that's $16 round trip. Today we're saving $17. Just doing this one time in a month can literally save you almost, except for $1, the amount that we are saving today. If you did this one time per week, literally you are saving almost 4 days of the money you need to save for this 30-day challenge. Even if you literally did it just for this month, but I would highly recommend looking at it going forward because this can be a huge savings. If you are looking at moving maybe closer to your work or farther out in the suburbs and you're counting the cost, I know sometimes you think, well, I can get a bigger house and a better lifestyle living further away. Maybe that's true because you think, oh, it's a little bit cheaper. But when you start taking the true cost of commuting and then putting it over a year, considering your time and the actual cost of commuting, not just gas, but wear and tear, oil, like all those things, you might find that moving a little bit closer in, while it doesn't seem cheaper right up front, could actually be a lot cheaper. So for this month and for getting your $17, definitely look into public transportation and the different options available. And also, I just want to say some cities even have things like small vans, like in Cap Metro in Austin, for one company, if it's a big enough company, they have a van. Everyone meets, let's say like in North Austin, this would be for people who live in North Austin, and they take that van to work every day and the van back. So they're not actually even on a big bus. It's just coworkers who live in the same area. The van is owned by Cap Metro, but it is so much cheaper and it is still direct. So look into all the options, Google it, look at whatever your public transport option is in your city, and if nothing else, consider carpooling. It can save so much money. I want to hear from you in the comments below. Do you currently carpool or use public transportation? How much money are you saving and how does that go? And I also want to hear what you do with the time saving that you're not having to drive that you can spend while you're in the car or on public transportation. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to hit the like button. It doesn't cost anything and it does so much for this channel and it pushes these videos out to other people who need to build up their emergency fund and become financially free. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more videos on money, saving, and investing, or any more videos of this 30-day emergency fund savings challenge. Thanks again, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.